For those of you guys who just may be joining us, this is Playing Devil's Advocate. We are here each and every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Central, and 10 p.m. to you guys on the East Coast. If you happen to miss a live broadcast of our show, please go to the iTunes store and subscribe to our podcast. It's free of charge, and you will be able to catch any episode that you may have missed. And while you're there in the iTunes store, if you can type in my name, KiKi Richardson, and download yourself a copy of my book, The Other Woman Code of Conduct, What Every Other Woman Should Know, and Men Too. But if you don't have access to the iTunes store, you can always go to KiKiRichardson.com, and there you'll be able to download any of the archived episodes. You'll be able to purchase merchandise, my book, find out about the drink of the week, the blog. Everything is right there on KiKiRichardson.com for you. We are tweeting in real time throughout the show, so please follow us at PDA_Miss KiKi. That's PDA_MSKIKI, and send us a tweet throughout the show, and we'll do our best to get your comment on air. Also, you can post to our Facebook wall at facebook.com/playingdevilsadvocate and post your comments, and we'll try to get your comments there. But if your comment is more than 140 characters, or you don't want everybody on Facebook to know your business, you can give us a call right here at 347-237-5271. Don't forget to press 1 so that we know that you're in the queue and you have something you would like to share with us. I think it's about time that I bring in my cast of characters that ride shotgun with me each and every week. But before I can do any of that, and I know our legal expert will be joining us a little later, so let me make sure that I play the disclaimer so I don't get in trouble with her. Because, you know, she'll be on my back. I can't have that. I can't have it. All right, time for the disclaimer.
I'll be going a little something like this. Hit it!
At some point, you will be offended by something said on this show. But Playing Devil's Advocate is meant to be a forum for open, honest, and more importantly, judgment-free dialogue. The opinions expressed here may not necessarily be those of the host or of the show in general, but we're willing to have the uncomfortable conversations so that we can heal and find solutions for our listeners and quite possibly even ourselves. Enjoy the show.
All right, there it is. You have the disclaimer. We are not micromanaging your emotions. We know somebody's feelings going to get hurt tonight because we are talking about something that is very personal to all of us in some way, shape, or form. Let me just say, tonight's show is The Skinny on Fitness. Get fit for your life. And Sporty, Spunky Angel, you're responsible for this one here today. I mean, I have to give you kudos. You are responsible for this show and coming up with the idea and everything to do it. First, tell everybody why you wanted to do the show, why you think it was important, and then we're going to bring on our guests.
Well, in a nutshell, I thought it was important because I decided to make a lifestyle change for myself and become a healthier me. I love who I am. I love the skin I was in, but I felt there could be a healthier Angel. So in order for that to be, effective, I started my quest. I've been working at it. I'm still working at it. I'm happy with the progress so far, but I'm ready for more, and I'm enjoying this lifestyle change and being fit, and I want everybody in my life that I love to be fit. So thanks to you and Ikiesha getting me together, and having me be accountable for my weight and removing the weight of my life and the weight on my body. I am on a mission, and Team Fit will not quit.
Team Fit will not quit. Well, speaking of Team Fit will not quit, let me bring on our first guest. She is our expert tonight when it comes to all things fitness. This is what she's been doing her entire life. She has been a former athlete, and I'm about to read her accolades so y'all can understand how it's really going down with this young lady. I don't think y'all really know the heavy hitter that is amongst you right now. This young lady, her name is Angie Brown. She is a 3-time qualified for the Olympic trials for the long jump. She is a Pan American Games silver medalist in the long jump. She's a NCAA national long jump champion. She is a Goodwill Games long jump. She's 8-time All-American long jump, 4-time Big East champion long jump in the 4x400, the 2-time World University team. And she is a mama, a business owner, and she is a fitness and wellness expert. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show my good friend, the bane of my existence, the thorn in my side, Miss Angie Brown. Hey, girl.
You made that sound so good. Hello.
I can't make this stuff up. This is you, honey. So I'm just talking about the stuff you've done.
It's different when you sit back and you hear it, but I'm very happy to be here and very happy to impart and share all questions that are existing among everybody. So
I'm about to bring in some other folks that's going to be joining you tonight on the panel. You are our lead expert, but we will defer to them to answer these questions as well because they are all about the fitness too. I called y'all, I hashtagged y'all the Fitnatics. So that's y'all hashtag Fitnatics, okay? So let me go ahead and bring the next one on. She is a favorite here on the show, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all know her. Y'all love her. She is actually our resident legal expert, so she keeps us out of trouble when we get in trouble. And she is an NPC nationally qualified physique competitor, and she'll be competing for her pro card this November. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if y'all seen the pictures, but if you haven't, y'all understand why she is on the show. I'm just getting a message that's flying in telling me that she's not even ready yet. I don't understand this. But you know what? I think I'm going to cuss some people out in our production meeting. I'm just saying. All right, next up. This young man had Sporty acting a daggone fool in our pre-production meeting.
Right. I was like,
we actually, hold on, calm down, Jim Shoe. She got all distracted. She can't even keep her mouth shut right now. If you don't know him, he's been here before for our Men Tell All show. He is a former athlete himself. I still think he is because he don't stop. He is a former NFL player. I think he played for the Green Bay Packers, but don't quote me, ladies and gentlemen. He's a good friend of mine, and is the chocolatiest man I have ever seen. This is crazy. I'm going to make him take his shirt off before the show is over. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Mr. Devin Lewis.
I need an intro song.
You need an intro song.
I need some kind of intro song, yo, like really, like something. I need some kind of beat behind the intro.
I'll sing you an intro song.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't you dare do it. Don't.
Yes, I will.
Don't do
Bring
it.
it on. I need something, man. So,
I don't know.
How y'all doing?
Hey, baby, how you doing? All right. So now we have, I'm sure when Ikiesha is available to join us, she will. And we also have another person joining us, Mr. LaVelle, a little bit later in the show. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you guys a question. Devin, you need to sit still. Stop all that fiddling about. You're like a bad kid. Stop all that fiddling about.
Well, you know you're a fitness expert, so they're not going to sit still.
You're going to have to because you on camera.
I want to see what's up to Angie. Angie. This is my first time seeing her. Like, we talked a lot on the phone. We ain't see each other.
Okay, let me tell everybody the backstory on this. Devin is doing his thing right down there in New Orleans, and Angie is in L.A. And so I was like, y'all need to connect the dots. So I said, Devin, why don't you call my girl, talk to her, see what's going on. And they connected the dots, and they've been on this daggone Fitnatic thing for a very long time. So, I'm sorry. I'm getting an echo from him.
So.
Okay, all right. So let's get on. Okay, stay focused. All right. The first thing that I want to, Sporty, since this is your show, you want to ask Angie a question, and while you're asking her that question, I'm going to go ahead and mute Devin.
Okay, absolutely. Hi, Angie.
Hello, how are you?
I am great. I'm so excited to talk to you. One of my biggest questions, and it's a question that I get a lot from people, since I have started my journey with weight loss, and people ask me the question, how do you do it? And my response to them has always been, it's different for everybody. But what are some key things that we could share with people that are things that work for everyone? I know diets are different. I'm a lap band surgery patient, and I've been done with that for about a year now. But things work differently with my lifestyle eating change versus someone else's. But what are some of the things that will work for people beginning this process, continuing it, getting back on the wagon? What really works for everyone?
What I'm about to say is probably going to seem very, very abstract to you.
Okay.
But I have a thing with my clients when your why is big enough. A lot of people want to resume that lifestyle or get back to healthy or get back to wherever their last ideal body shape or body style. And it's really when your why is big enough. And when I say that, I mean, why are you doing? The reason why. What's your motivation? What's standing behind it? And when that is big enough, come hell or high water or come crook, you are going to stick to it because that is what is ingrained in your why. Some people, their motivation is external. Some people, their motivation might be aesthetic. But when it's big enough and it's a big enough why, they will stick to it. They will create a plan.
When you say their why is big enough and whatever that thing is, what is it that you hear? How do you determine that why is big enough? As a trainer or as somebody who comes to you to say, hey, Coach Angie, I want to do this, what is it that you need to hear from them to know that the why is big enough?
What I hear from them is actually a look in their eye. Because some people will come and they'll say, you know what, I don't want my child to put me in the ground soon. Or I don't want to be the one that everyone's worrying about. And when they come to you and they have that reason, and that reason is for self, that reason is for health, then they're holding on to something that's much more important than something that's going to go or that's going to be ephemeral, whether it's a wedding date or whether it's a party or whether it's a cruise. When that reason has more longevity than a date on the calendar, then we're rocking with something that we can really create around.
Okay. All right. Number 3, did you have a question for our panelists before I go on to because I got a whole bunch of questions. Y'all see,
wait a minute. Let me ask her, did I answer that to her satisfaction?
You absolutely answered to my satisfaction, and it wasn't abstract to me because until I had a why, I always said I wanted to lose weight, and I always thought about it, and, things didn't work for me, but until I really got clear and had a committed conversation with myself and then with people who hold me accountable. And when I tell you, I will never forget, and I don't know if they remember the conversation I had with Ikiesha and KiKi on the telephone, what my why was, that is what really kicked me into gear, And when our other person joins us, the 3 of them help me to stay focused on that because there's nothing more important to me now than, staying healthy and doing a lifestyle change. I don't call it a diet.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes,
and
ma'am.
You can negate to answer it or not. May I ask what your why was?
Absolutely. My why was wanting to just lose the weight because for health reasons I needed to lose the weight, because I had a heart condition. That I didn't find out about until after I began my journey to lose weight. But then once I began to realize that there were things that I didn't have to accept in my life, people, situations, and things like that, and the reason I chose to remain cushy was because I was protecting myself from the outside elements of my life that I didn't want to be responsible for.
All right. Okay. I'm going to give Devin the opportunity to answer this question on how does he know when his client is actually really serious. So go ahead, Devin.
In 2008, when I unofficially started training people, I know the ones that's faking. I know the ones that just blowing smoke out their mouth.
But how do you know that? How do you know? How do you know that, Devin? How do you know when it's somebody that's just talking versus somebody who's actually serious?
First thing that person asks about is, so how much you charge? I know they ain't serious. I've had people, like a million people ask, how much you charge? When the question first is like, how do I do this? How do you train? Do you have a meal plan? When they ask the real important questions, actually about the workout, like what kind of workouts you do? I want to get in shape. I want to do cardio. This is wrong with my body. I want to do this. How do I get this in shape? When they start asking the real informative questions, that's when I know a person is leading to being serious. But when the first question out of a person's mouth, when they find out I'm a client, a personal trainer, how much you charge? I know they ain't serious.
All right, thank you, Daddy-O. So can you please explain what BMI is and how that makes you either overweight, obese, or morbidly obese?
As far as obese, overweight, or morbidly obese, that's going to be the greater of the scale that they are away from the term that they're using, BMI, your body mass index. When you're overweight, your skew outside of that is just very slight. When you're obese, then that means it goes a little bit further beyond what the scope or the numbers or the range that you fall in. And then morbidly obese, a lot of those fall in the different diseases that are more prevalent. When you're at one level, you're more susceptible to being pre-diabetic. At another level, you'll probably be diabetic, hypertensive, high cholesterol. And then with the morbidly obese, then that's where we're really looking at a lot of the things that are starting to fail with the kidneys and with the heart and with those types of things. So the greater the degree of that is kind of letting you know what's indicative of what's possibly going on. And that plays a part into the age differential of whom you're dealing with. All of it is very, very relative. But those blanket phrases are often used, but they're not quite on point. Because if we go by the BMI or the body mass index, I would be considered obese. So you can't really use that. You can't really use that to coin or to include all of us because we fall outside the scope.
Who came up with that cockamamie as BMI? Because tell it everybody. Have you ever had a client that was under what the norm is? Like what the hell is that? Who came up with that? What?
That's the standard. There's a few standards, and unfortunately, when you have a standard, but you have so many ethnicities, so many different walks of life, there is really no one standard you can gauge everyone by. That's why being healthy and using the different checkups at the doctors and checking your blood levels, that's truly indicative of where you actually are, because those are standards by which you can measure. But to use those blanket phrases, because we're all different sizes, all different shapes, all different body types, what have you. So I hope that explains that.
All right, this next question I'm going to go to Ikiesha for, because Ikiesha always got something slick to say. As a person who was overweight at one point, who probably, I don't know what your BMI was when you first started your journey, Ikiesha, can you tell me, coming from where you were to where you are, how do you view people who are on the other end of the spectrum now?
I think I have a certain level of empathy because I know where they are. So a lot of times I try to let them know, you see me now, you know that I started. You don't know when I started. You don't know how I started. And so I try to show them and let them know that, listen, you just have to start. So I don't view them any differently than anybody else because I know that, all it takes is some hard work, some dedication, and you can get to where you need to go. But I have no tolerance for excuses and bullshit. So if you're not ready, I'm going to let you know. You're not ready. You're not going to waste my time.
That's true. I wanted to ask you guys, and I'm about to open up everybody's mic. Hopefully we can get the feedback under control with Devin. But what I would like to know is, what is the biggest excuse that you hear when it comes to being fit? I will say what I have heard is that I don't have the time. So, Angie, can you tell me the biggest excuses the top 3 excuses that you hear?
I don't have time. I'm always running around for my children. And I'm uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable with being in public.
Okay. I'm going to ask Devin. He's a trainer. So, Devin, can you tell me what are the top 3 excuses that you hear from people? Where the hell is he going? The top three excuses that you hear from potential clients or from your current clients.
I don't have time. It's too expensive, and I don't want to get my hair messed up.
I don't want to get my hair messed up.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
All the time. I don't want to get my hair messed up.
Was that a black woman? Was that a black woman?
It's 100% black women. Yes.
Oh, man. Okay.
Yes.
Sporty, I'm going to go to you so you can tell me what's going on in the chat room. I see a whole lot of activity. Can you tell me what I have missed so far in the chat room?
Yes. Well, we have a lot of Dino, our resident, legal, resident legal. He's our resident repeat offender, one of them, and he was talking about his weight because he's a fighter. He's talking about what body mass index is. So he's really just he said some more excuses with time, no money, their schedule, can't do it, looks like it hurts, as far as excuses that are given to trainers for people who can't participate with trainers or what their excuses are.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go to number 3. Number 3, did you have a question for our panel? Okay. Go ahead.
My question is, what tips would you give to someone like me who has severe asthma, but they want me to, move? I want to get fit. I have to get off some of this medicine and everything, but they want me to move. They want me to get my cardio up, but I can't breathe. Is it just that I need to stick with it and it will get better with time, or is there certain things I can do to do that and still, keep my breath and not have to stop every 5 minutes?
Still live?
Right.
Go ahead, Angie. We'll go in this order. Angie, Devin, Ikiesha. So go ahead, Angie.
Okay, you brought up something that's all too near and dear to my heart. I, too, am an asthmatic, so I do know the ways and the means and how that feels. You have to, number 1, listen to yourself. But number 2, be encouraged and not discouraged. There's many things and aspects that you can do, and you will have to adjust. Swimming is something that's really, really good because that type of exercise helps with the lungs and the regulation of your airways. But you'll have to take it in spurts. You'll have to take it in time. And I believe you mentioned that you were on a few medications, correct?
Yes.
Yes. I'm going to mention something that's probably going to throw us a little off. You may, if you have not looked into the possibility of cleansing as well, because a lot that medicines do, a lot of side effects that they bring, they tend to supersede a lot of the body's natural pathways as far as your metabolism, as far as how you eliminate, and as far as what it retains and keeps in your system, which is the antithesis of trying to improve all of that. So seeking out a possibility of a cleanse, timing your time, but also listening to your body. But don't give up and always be encouraged to move forward.
All righty. Next person up will be Devin.
Just piggybacking off what Angie said, that's 100% right.
Okay.
The main thing is, if you get clearance from your doctor, obviously it's okay for you to work out, but you have to listen to your body. I get a lot of clients coming in and they hadn't went to their doctor yet, and they expect me to, diagnose them with how to do this, whatever. I always say, go to your doctor first. Tell them exactly what kind of workouts you want to do. Say you want to get with a trainer. Then you come back to me and let me know what the doctor said. It's my job to gauge how much I'm gonna push you, how much you could go. If you're feeling like, okay, I need to stop, definitely tell your trainer or whoever you're working with, I need to stop. Don't try to be all big and bad and push yourself through and you pass out. I don't know. I'm not an expert on asthma, but I have worked with a few patients that had asthma. So it's all about me gauging, what level that I can push them. So that's what I say. Just stick with it. Like you said, you have to fight through it, or whatever. Just stick with it.
I want to give her some pointers too, just because some things that were left out that I think that might be helpful for her. You might want to invest in a heart rate monitor. I'm really big on instrumentation because at this point you really are not sure what cardio is, and it's different for everyone depending on what I'm doing may not be enough to get me into a fat burning mode, whereas what you're doing might be enough. So you have to know. You have to educate yourself, and you have to start small. Don't listen to what other people tell you you need to do 30 minutes a day. You might not be at 30 minutes a day. You might only be at 5 minutes a day. But you start somewhere. If it's 1 minute today, then it's 2 minutes tomorrow and 3 minutes the next day. But you commit to do something, and then you commit to do something more the next day. Okay.
Well, there it is. All right. Here's a question. Here's a question that came in for you guys. It says, what are the best exercises that you can give us for people who have bad knees and bad backs? Angie, I'll start with you, Devin, then Ikiesha.
Okay, bad knees, that would depend on the type or the kind of bad knee. There's plenty of them there. But for the most part, someone with bad knees, you want to keep it very low impact. You don't want to do a lot. You want to watch your angle upon which you bend. You want to use a lot of support. Use a lot of walls, a lot of Swiss balls. Be careful of the dynamics of the movement. And you said, and lower back, definitely flexibility. You have to bring in the role of flexibility. A lot of people look at flexibility as a passive undertaking. Depending on what your body really goes through, Ms. Richardson, flexibility is a key component. And that was no pun intended. But flexibility also is helpful for problems with your back. And along with that, with back, has a lot to do. You know what? Really, for real. A lot of times with back injuries, that has a lot to do with what people do for a living. If they sit for long periods of the day and they're mostly on their hamstrings, that's going to hinder the flexibility of their lower back into their hamstring. So flexibility is a key component for that. And with the you just have to watch and be careful of the motion that they use. You can do a lot of isolations, a lot of concentration holds. Stop.
Because there you go using terminology. This is fitness for dummies. You talk about concentration holds and isolation moves. I'm going to need you to speak it in the language. So, okay, can you, I don't want to ask you to stand up and do it. Devin, since you can't sit still. No, I'm just kidding. I was going to make you get up and do it. No. I was going to make, but I'll say this. Let me ask you more specifically then. Would you recommend things like yoga? Would you recommend things like Pilates? Would you recommend things like the elliptical machine? Would you recommend things like that? What actual exercises would you, or equipment or things of that nature, would you recommend for somebody who had those issues? Because I know, let's just use me for an example. I've trained with you, Angie. I hated her whole time, but that's just saying. But she got me right though. I can't even front. She got me right. But and you know that I have a bad back, and you know I have shin splints and bad knees. But some of the things that we did, we used the balls, we used the resistance bands, we used a lot of stuff. Can you give people actual stuff that they could use?
Yes, I can. I'm trying to look and see what space that I have to work with. Not much. But yes, to piggyback on what you said, the machines that are in the gym, the ellipticals, yes, that is very helpful. It's very low impact. It's a glide. But then, like I said, it depends on the type of knee injury. Support on your lower lumbar if you're doing abdominals. That also helps to support your back. Wow. I don't know. I have a million things running through my head, and I'm trying to keep it very fundamental. KiKi, thank you very much. Ball sits, where you place the Swiss ball in the nape of your lower back, and you press up against the wall, and you use that to deviate. Oh, there I go again. Sorry. To minimize the amount of pressure that you place on your knees. So, I don't know, Devin, do you have anything to chime in?
You're talking about the wall squats with the ball?
The wall squats, yeah.
Yeah. Anything with the, like you said, low impact. But I wanted to comment on like the knees because I had ACL surgery, and I really had to concentrate on building my legs back up and doing certain things with my knees. So I learned a lot, during that almost a year and a half of rehab. Getting back to full 100%. So I have a few clients that come to me that say they have knee problems. So. Like you said, a lot of low impact, and like I said, it's all about what kind of knee, because it's different angles your knee twists. If you have pain going straight down, or you have pain when your knee twists to the side or to the outside, so you have to really gauge what kind of knee problem you have. And so I do a lot of like low weight. You don't want to go anything heavy unless you know what kind of level you're on, how much force you can put on your knee. So you don't want to go too heavy. Okay. It's all about gauge. I like to tell every client, every person is different. So one person like this general advice that we're giving, it might not suit everybody that the ear, everybody that hears it. So every person is different. So you really have to, know what problems you have or what situation you're in, for one.
Let me say this. Since we're about to go to our legal expert who happens to be on our panel today, I am going to say this to everybody to piggyback on what Devin just said. Everybody is different. We're not telling you exactly what this is. It's all general, and it gives you an idea. So when you do go to a trainer or you do go to a gym, you can have a general idea of where to start. These people here on tonight will be available via Twitter, via Instagram, via, whatever, email, whatever, so that you can kind of consult with them if you need some individualized questions answered, if you don't send us a text or a tweet or post to our Facebook wall. But I also must say, always consult your physician before you do anything, because I don't want you trying to sue us talking about, I heard on your show to do this, and I threw my back out. So consult your physician. Go ahead, Ikiesha.
I agree with everything everybody else said. I would stay away from exercises like leg presses, squats, lunges, things that involve actively putting pressure on your knees. I would stay away from leg extensions and things like that. Although depending on the type of injury you have, a leg extension could be a rehabilitative exercise. For your back, focus on strengthening your core. A lot of people think that doing core exercises is so you can get a six-pack. Yeah, no. Six-packs are made in the kitchen. If you want to do core exercises, that strengthens your back. Okay. So planking, the core, planking, which is one of my favorite, inverse on the ball is one of my favorite, hanging leg lifts, things like that to strengthen your core. That will help strengthen your back.
Okay, I got something to ask, and I'm going to open it up to my ladies in just a second so they can ask some questions as well and give us some chat room comments, because Sporty's been kind of quiet there for a minute. I want to know, for people like me, I know the answer to this because, Angie, we've worked through this before, but for people like me who seem to have this, what we call an onion for a booty, and we can't lay flat. So when I lay flat on my back, it's an arch. My back doesn't touch. My lower back doesn't touch. What do you suggest for people like me who may be doing ab exercises to strengthen their abs, but we can't get that flat base because of this? I'm stand up for a second, y'all. So yeah, I'm about to stand up for a second, y'all. So enjoy this, Devin.
Yeah.
Because of this.
Right. But when
right
you
here.
Right.
What do you do?
Well, one thing. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go, Ikiesha, then Angie.
When you lay down flat, if you raise your legs at a 90-degree angle, your back is flat. You can do leg lifts from that position right there. Just go up. You could also bridge. You could do the bridge. That's also great, not only for hip flexors, for your quads, it's great for your core. So that shouldn't be something that inhibits you. You also could put your hands under the small of your back. That would help. I'm sorry, my dog. That would help to keep you from having pain right where the space is.
All right, Angie.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say you can provide some type of lumbar support so that you have that support under there engaging, just in case if whatever exercise you're doing, you may need your arms to be above your head versus having them there for support. And with raising your legs and your back being at a 90-degree angle, that is very true. Just make sure that your neck and shoulder angle is appropriate so that you're not pulling too much on your neck muscles.
All right. What about you, Devin?
Yeah, I was going to say, first of all, you shouldn't, I'm trying to think, I don't know, my mind's going blank on it, but your back shouldn't be completely straight flat when you're doing abs, for one. Am I right? I mean, so you should always...
It depends on what ab exercise you're doing.
Yeah.
And some of them,
that's true, but most of your abs, you want to engage your abs, so that's going to automatically, you're going to crunch up a little bit. Well, that's how I tell my clients, or that's how I do abs or whatever. You crunch up, engage your abs.
Let me give him a visual. Let me give you a visual. Let me give you a visual. If I'm laying flat and my knees are not bent, my lower back is not touching the ground. Once I bend my legs, then I get that flat surface. So if I'm doing a leg raise, I can put my hands under me to provide that support for my lower back. But
that's with the woman, the lady said about, I'm sorry, I don't say lady. Who was that talking and said put your hands under the small of your back?
That's me. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that was perfect. That was a perfect example of how to keep your lower back from having that arch in your back, whatever. Okay. So, but a lot of
you got distracted by the booty. I need you to stay focused. I stood up and he lost me.
Booty, right. I was like, okay, shit.
You know what? I'm going to give you an opportunity to get yourself together, Devin. I'm going to give you an opportunity to get yourself together because it's the time of the show where we do our drink of the week. And I will have to say that our producer, do we have a drink of the week? Because I don't even know if it was anything that was uploaded. I don't even know. Is my producer on let me get her open. Chance.
Yes.
Do we have a drink of the week?
I was wondering when you was going to ask me about it. Yes, we do.
Okay. Well, I'll do the intro for it, and you can play it. All right. So,
okay,
I'll say this.
Now, hold on.
I'll say this. When I said get the drink of the week, Angie, since she's the expert and all y'all fitness people, you fitnatics, #fitnatics was going to be on here. She was like, wait a minute, can we have something healthy, like a smoothie or something? And I laughed in her face. Okay? I laughed at her. I was like, wait a minute, you've heard this show before. Hell you mean? I was like, have you just met us? Like, what the hell? So I charged our producer and with coming up with something that you guys may approve of, that'll be trainer approved. And the name of this drink is called Skinny Pants Margarita. So I'll let her tell you about it because it's her ding-dang drink. And when she gets in trouble, y'all can talk about her. So go ahead, Chance. Go ahead and play the do it for them.
Hey everybody, it's that time of the show again for our drink of the week. Okay, our drink of the week is called Skinny Pants Margarita. So the ingredients for tonight is going to be 4 ounces of tequila, 4 ounces of water, 3 tablespoons of agave nectar, 5 cups of ice. We're going to use the juice squeezed from 2 lemons and the juice squeezed from 2 limes. And all we're going to do with this is we're going to place in a blender, add all the ingredients, and blend until smooth. And this should be enough to make at least 2 large margaritas. And there you have it. Skinny Pants Margaritas. Low in calories, so you can still fit into them skinny jeans. Okay, guys, be safe, enjoy, drink responsibly, and I'll see you next week.
I I don't care how many of them skinny pants I drank, I'm still not fitting into no skinny pants. I'm just saying, that's just me. But I do think it was a little healthy. She had lime. She had agave nectar. That's fruity stuff. That's good stuff, right?
Oh.
Is that trainer approved? Can I get a thumbs up or something? Y'all said no.
No.
All right, well.
No.
Well, you can go work it off after you have it.
Yeah, it's agave is sugar. We're all anti-sugar people.
Yeah.
Y'all anti-sugar.
Sorry.
Okay.
Hey, that drink was under 200 calories. That was a good drink.
Uh-oh, she
You know
about
how long
to
it
riot.
takes to burn off 200 calories?
It was under
How
200
long does
calories.
Look, that's a tricky question. How long does it take to burn off 200 calories?
That's about a half an hour on the treadmill. Or a half an hour doing something else.
Right, that's what I was going to say.
Bang, bang, bang.
Who you
Bang, bang, bang. Ski. All right, all right, Sporty, you've been kind of quiet lately. What questions do you have for the panel?
Well, I've been getting quite a few questions coming in to me asking, one question is, how can I sit on a panel with people about fitness and I'm overweight?
Wait.
The other question.
Wait.
Yeah.
Let me answer that for the asshole who asked you that.
Okay.
There's a lot of skinny mofos who are not healthy. And she's sitting on the panel not in an expert capacity. She is sitting here to give information to morons like you who are so narrow-minded that you think that everything is external as opposed to it not being that way. So if you're trying to get a dig at my girl, this is not the place to try to do that because I have a microphone, and that's not a good thing for you. All right, next question.
Boom.
They want to know, how do I handle being around people like you all as friends, and I'm overweight. The questions are like really.
Like you all who? Me and me?
Yeah, like you and that I'm sitting on this panel.
I ain't skinny.
Girl, look, come on now. You know how I deal with these type of folks,
okay.
but you know,
I can't even do
I'm
them.
just
I can't
asking
even do them.
what's there.
I can't do them.
But I would like to respond. Here's what I would like to say to all of those people with those types of questions. You know, first of all, I don't do this for what it looks like to anybody else in this entire world. I do this for me. You know, it has been a year, July 18th, that I went on this journey, and I have lost 163.4 pounds since then to be where I am right now.
Wait, where's my applause button? Where's my applause button? Hold on, where's my applause? I need my applause. Bam.
And
that's how she can sit on this panel.
I'm not where I want to be just yet, but I'm where I need to be at this point. You know,
let me say this to you, Sporty. You are exactly where you're supposed to be right now. You know,
right.
Because here's the thing. You got up off your ass and you made a decision, whether it was a surgical decision, but you followed it up with but you did a lot of work before you even did the surgery, right? But you've been putting in a whole lot of work after this. And the fact that you've lost over 160 pounds, when a motherfucker won't even get rid of a 165-pound nigga that's living in their house doing nothing, they could all go to hell. You know what I'm saying? So I commend you, because a lot of people won't do nothing. They talk a whole lot, but they won't do anything. So keep on keeping on, girl. I can't even do them people. Don't even bring me no more of them questions, because they're not even relevant to this conversation. We all about positivity and lifting people up and trying to give people, you know, something to go on so that they can be better. We're not doing that. Number 3, you got a question for our panel? I don't know if she's talking or not.
Yes, I'm talking. You know I have mute problems. I know this is general, but Angie mentioned something about looking to a cleanse or a detox. Are they the same thing? And what are the recommendations from all three as far as cleansing or detoxes go? My question is, do you have to be, customized, or can, because everybody on Facebook is one every other day. So, I mean, do you recommend?
Angie, I got to tell a story.
Okay.
I always have to get an antidote, and then I'm going to let you tell this story. I will attest to a cleanse, because both of these two clowns got me with a cleanse. Angie got me with a cleanse, and Devin got me with a cleanse. And I will tell you, I hated both of their asses while I was going through it. But after it was over, I wanted to kiss them both in the mouth. I'm just saying. Go ahead, Angie. Tell it, and then, Devin, you can talk about yours.
Okay. Cleansing now is becoming a more popular trend. One thing I do say is I encourage you, do your research, okay? Some are healthier than others. Some are colon cleanse. Some are just detoxes. They cover the whole gamut. But you have to know what you want. There's a cleanse that I use, and I've been using it for 10 years with my clients. It's the CKLS olive oil cleanse. It's a cleanse for 7 days. It's a colon cleanse. It pulls everything out. It's a bit tough. A lot of people who probably have tuned in, that's how I start a lot of people off. I believe in cleansing and getting rid of the root of the matter, because after the CKLS cleanse, your body is open to receive. Your uptake, your absorption of your nutrition, your output, your processing of everything is much better. It's fast because your system's clean. You've kind of gotten rid of a lot of the root, and the root of a lot of problems sits in your bowels. It's a 7-day cleanse. You eat raw fruits and vegetables. I say it again, raw fruits and vegetables. A lot of people, when I say this to them, they don't really understand. What do you mean raw? Do you mean not cooking it? And I say, yeah, that's exactly what I mean. And that stymies a lot of people. They don't know which direction to go. Outside of cucumbers, tomatoes, and lettuce, there's But this really helps people to investigate the whole gamut of natural vegetation. And I will say this cleanse.
Before you go into detail about that specific cleanse, we will have it available on a link for us, so you can go and check it out with Angie and get more information. I just can say for the record, I've done the cleanse several times, and I hate her. That first 72 hours, I literally want to commit a homicide, and then after that, it kind of gets a little better. But go ahead. I'm going to go to Devin, because he did one that he does all the time, and I was a dum-dum, and I followed behind him, so I said, okay, now how you do this cleanse? And I did it, and I said to Chan, well, fuck him up. I thought he liked me. Okay, Devin, tell everybody what your thoughts are about cleansing. He laughing at me. That shit ain't funny.
Wait, just to follow up what Angie said, definitely do your research, because there's 1,000,001 kind of cleanses and detoxes or whatever. But before the one I told KiKi about, I'm the pill kind of guy. There's a product called 7-Day Cleanser. You get it from Vitamin Shop, and that was like one of my all-time favorites. It did the job. It wasn't too hard. Take 2 pills in the morning, 2 pills at night, and it had you going on a regular, just cleaning out all your colon, everything you needed to get cleaned out to start your fat burning and weight loss journey. But then I found out about this Epsom salt. Before I tell everybody about it, it's super extreme, it's super nasty. I don't tell everybody about it. Everybody come to me and ask me about it. Then I tell them, and then they want to do it, and then they want to act like KiKi and be like, oh, and all that stuff. But somebody a lot of people don't know that Epsom salt is oral. You could drink it. And I didn't know that until however long ago myself. And then I started researching it, and I saw the directions and what it does and all that stuff, and I did it. Okay. And when I say you have to clear out a whole day, I do it at night so I can stay overnight and just go. And it cleans
it does. It does. I've been their guinea pigs. I tried everything, y'all. I did this just for y'all. It was research for y'all. I did this so I could be here to tell y'all what happened. It worked. It did exactly what it was supposed to do. I came out feeling about 10 pounds lighter. And for the olive oil CKLS cleanse, literally at the end of that 7 days, I think I had lost about a good 12 pounds. And it didn't come right back, so I know it wasn't water. Huh?
Yeah. I said it was about 13.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and it didn't come right back. And I felt great. But the one thing I want people to know when they do these cleanses, you can't come out of a cleanse and go back to eating like shit. You cannot turn around and do it. You can't be like, oh, I'm done with my cleanse, and that very next day you talking about you going to Wendy's and you going to do this. You can't do that. You can't do it. Ikiesha, did you want to say something about the cleanses before we go on to another question?
Yeah, just make sure you understand the difference between a cleanse and a fast. I do a combination, which is a cleanse and a fast. I try to do it twice a year so far. Usually I definitely do it in January, the beginning of the year. That's how I start my year. It's the master cleanse. There's no food on this cleanse at all. That's why it's a fast. And when I say no food, that means no food for 10 days. And you can do it for a minimum of 10 to a maximum of 40 days. And it's completely, it's a intracellular type of cleanse where it's cleansing not just your digestive tract. You have to rest your entire digestive tract so that the energy your body would use to process food is redirected. And while you think you'll be tired, you won't. You'll have more and increased energy because your body is not doing all that cellular activity breaking down food constantly. You'd be surprised how much energy that requires. And so that's the fast I do. And you lose weight on any fast or cleanse, but that should never be your goal.
Okay. All right. Here's we have another fitness person.
I got a question. I want to say something. Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Okay. Just real quick. Be careful. A lot of people come to cleanses and detoxes as a lose weight real quick, real fast. It is not healthy. I repeat, it is not healthy to do repeated cleanses or repeated detoxes. The body has a natural chemistry, a natural pH, a natural level. The more you cleanse and the more you dilute that, the harder it is for it to come back into play to function as it's supposed to. So just be careful. Do not overexceed cleansing in a year's period. I don't recommend a cleanse more than once or twice a year. Yeah. Myself, I cleanse every other year. That's what I do for myself personally. So just FYI.
Yeah, but Angie, you eat like a bird. So I just want y'all to know that her first daughter didn't even, and we're gonna talk about that in just a second. Her first daughter, this woman has an 8-pack, but she got 2 kids. But I'm gonna talk about that in a whole nother conversation because I got some bad words I want to say to you. Her kid didn't have like juice until she was almost 2 years old. And when she had her first juice, it was with me, and she went apeshit because she had not had sugar ever in her life. So I'm just saying. And she so didn't eat like regular food that when she actually had a piece, I snuck her a piece of ham for Thanksgiving. She was like, I want some more of that pink beef. She didn't even know what it was. She didn't know what pork was. So I'm just saying, y'all should know who we dealing with. That's why she can only cleanse. She can cleanse once every other year because she ain't got nothing in there. She ain't got shit in there. You ain't got nothing in there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Mr. Andre LaVelle.
Hello, family. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, we were just talking about cleanses or whatever. Is there a cleanse that you would recommend to your clients right off the bat so we can just go ahead and, because I have a bunch of questions that have come in that I want to ask all of the experts across the board.
I really don't recommend a cleanse. We don't do a cleanse. I change their lifestyle and eating habits. I think if you eat clean, eat healthy, it's more realistic to get results.
Okay. All right. Here's some of the questions that we have. And thank you for joining us, by the way, Andre. We appreciate you from PCW Bootcamp. What is it called? Pit Crew? What is it? Pit Crew?
Pit Crew Warriors. Yes.
Pit Crew Warriors. Just FYI, Angie has one out there in it's in LA too, and it is called Body Alterations because she's so smart. She connected it with her Tailored Fitness, which is the other thing. So she's tailoring and alterations. Isn't that cool how that all works out? All right, Warriors. Here we go. Here's some questions. and this is the order that we're going to go in. We're going Angie, Devin, Ikiesha, and then the other ladies, my number 3 and Sporty. Y'all please interject if you have questions that you have or questions that have come in through the chat room, Twitter, or your inboxes or Facebook, okay? So one of the questions that we had, Angie, as a woman, you know, we have difficulty with, getting our clothes to fit us and all these other things. For you, what do you suggest to your clients? Do you tell them to focus on the pounds or the inches or nothing? What is it that you tell them to focus on?
Hey, Miss